Freedom and beauty to everyone. I am the Technomage and welcome back to The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, episode 5. And today we will see Galadriel hit new lows. No, oh yes, she can degrade herself even more. And this series as well. So let's get to it. So first of all, I just noticed this on the opening credits. Costume designer Kate Hawley. You are responsible for this, one of the responsibles for this series looking so bad. Namely, the costumes. I already said how the costumes look so bad, so cheap on this series, and here we have who's responsible for all of that. So anyway, we start off with the Harfoots. Nori is talking to the stranger. The stranger is talking back more. The stranger now is capable of saying a few words, a few short phrases, and capable of communicating, which is good. And he's worried about himself, about his powers and whatnot. And then we have an actually quite lovely montage of Nori's friend singing a song while they continue their journey, and we see them struggling with many different places, and it's, as I said, it's quite lovely, very beautiful scenarios. So, and the stranger is looking at the stars, still trying to find his constellation. But back at the crater he left when he crash landed on Earth, somebody is watching, somebody is apparently looking for him, and who it is? Eminem! Yes, this is the one you saw on the trailers, on the promotional imagery, and goodbye, because this is all that we see of this character. Seriously, we see this character for like 30 seconds. Meanwhile, back at the tower, Bronwyn is trying to rally the refugees into a fighting force so they can defend themselves against the orcs. And many people is saying, yes, I will fight, but many other people follow the old man, who is a Sauron worshipper, and he takes about half of the refugees with him outside. Back to Adar, whose message of serve me and you will survive was already delivered. Meanwhile, at Numenor they are preparing for the expedition, and oh bloody hell! Oh, this poor horse! Is this really how you get horses inside ships? You just hold them like cargo with a crane? I really hope this is CGI and not a practical effect. So anyway, Isildur goes to his father to get a place on the expedition, and his father says no, because you haven't earned it, because you don't serve. Your mind is always on the clouds with your dreams, and you don't belong to any of the guilds of the Sea Guard, so no, you are not going. And of course, Isildur is sad. Meanwhile, Isildur, Elendil's daughter, goes to talk with the minister's son. You remember the guy who was trying to bet her in last episode? And well, she asked him to talk to his father, the minister, so they can stop this expedition, this war, because she's worried about her father and all these people. But the son says no, my father doesn't listen to him, and she tells him to speak louder. Meanwhile, it seems that Halbrand first of all obtain a guild medal, a guild identification, because as you can see, he's wearing the leather apron of a blacksmith, and he has one of those guild medals now. And apparently he was telling the truth. He is a really skilled blacksmith, but he's summoned by the queen, and Halbrand finds out that Galadriel sold him out. Galadriel used him as an exchange coin. So the queen will agree to organize Galadriel's expedition to Middle Earth, because now they have the Lost King of the Southlands to support their cause. And of course, Halbrand is very angry with Galadriel because she used him, and I kid you not, what I'm about to tell you is the truth. It is what happened. It is what Galadriel said. Galadriel tells to him, "Well, I am helping you getting a throne, so some will say that you have used me. You gaslighting witch." Yes, you heard me right. Galadriel completely gaslight Halbrand about to avoid accountability for her using him, for disclosing his secret, and generally being the very really bad person that she has been throughout this series. So meanwhile, the Harfoots are waiting and have stopped to rest on a forest, and Nori and her friend find wolf tracks, and yes, the wolves appear and they are attacking. And when the wolves are about to eat Nori, her friend, and an old lady from their troop, the stranger appears and he saves them with a Fusroda. Dragonborn! But apparently his magic is harmful to him. So, back at Numenor, Captain Elendil is training a group of recruits. Among them, these two. What was his name? Isildur's friends. Yes, there's two Isildur's friends from the Sea Guard. And Galadriel, of course, appears because if somebody is going to teach a lesson to anyone, it's going to be her. So she begins fighting everyone, and the one who manages to strike at her will be promoted to lieutenant. And what follows is a really, really, really bad fight. I mean, the choreography is laughable. Galadriel's actress, Mordin Clark, I think it was her name, Mordin Clark, yes, doesn't know how to fight. It's obvious. I mean, it's painfully obvious that she did no training previous to the shooting of this series. No training at all, because the choreography is so bad and she looks so awkward during this fight scene. She even manages to disarm one of the recruits, and she starts fighting with two swords. I mean, I'll see if I can put a clip here. And as you can see, it's bad. I mean, really, really bad. And of course, Galadriel is the best that there ever was. She outmaneuvers and outfights everyone. And I kid you not, this fight scene reminds me of the Power Rangers. And it pains me to make this comparison because I love the Power Rangers. So anyway, one of them manages to make a cut on Galadriel's dress, and that recruit is promoted to lieutenant. Meanwhile, the minister's son is talking to his father, saying that you have to stop the queen, and blah 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 blah, and you are being led by the ear by an elf, which technically speaking he is not wrong. But the minister tells his son that you are not thinking on the long run, because if we succeed and if we liberate the Southland, its future king will be in debt will owe us a debt, and that means a lot of commerce and riches because the Southland is a very big territory and whatnot. Meanwhile, back with the stranger and the Harfoots, the stranger is trying to heal his wound, and he uses his magic to apply some cold on his bruises. But Nori talks to him, and she touches him, and her hand starts to froze alongside the stranger's arm, and the stranger continues chanting his spell. He doesn't listen to her, and then he has some flashback, and the spell explodes, and Nori is flung back, and she escapes really frightened of the stranger. Meanwhile, back in London, or was it Lindon? I can remember that. That doesn't matter. In the Elf City, they are having a dinner with Prince Durin, who went to the Elf City, and High King Gil-galad is a horrible host. Like seriously, immediately he starts antagonizing Durin, who has done nothing to receive this kind of treatment, but he starts accusing Durin of hiding something from the elves and whatnot, but Durin cleverly deflects his accusations with the fact that the table they are dining on is made of a special kind of stone that is sacred for the dwarves. So he wants to ask why do the elves have this stone, and why are they using it as a dinner table? And the king apologizes and promises to return this slab of stone back to the dwarves. After dinner, the king reveals to Elrond that he did knew that the dwarves have something of value, and he wants it, and he sent Elrond to Durin to find out where it was and how to retrieve it for themselves. Elrond, of course, is really angry at him because he made an oath to never to reveal what Durin told him, and of course he's also very angry that the king and Lord Celebrimbor have been manipulating him, and Lord Celebrimbor tells him of a story. No, sorry, the king tells him about a elven legend about a hero that battled the what was his name? The Balrog of Morgoth, and during they fought on. I think they fought on one of the trees, these ancient trees that were the light source of the world, and apparently a lightning struck this tree during their fight and sent the light of the tree down into the earth. And this energy materialized in Mithril, and the king, High King Gil-galad, wants the Mithril because it contains the light of the tree, and they need it because the elves apparently are dying. Apparently, that black ichor we saw on a leaf on episode 1 is now spreading throughout the sacred tree, and the sacred tree is dying, and alongside it, the elves are also going to die. Meanwhile, Isildur goes to talk with his friend, the newly appointed lieutenant, to apologize, and well, it's actually a non-apology, because what he wants is for his friend to get him into the roster of the soldiers that will be going to the expedition, and the friend hits him because Isildur has been a really bad friend, and tells him, even if I wanted to, I can't bring you along. So Isildur sneaks into a boat and hides at a stowaway, but casually, the minister's son sneaks into the very same boat, trying to burn it down, and a fight ensues, and of course the ship ends up being set ablaze, and Isildur saves the minister's son's life, and the minister's son vouches for him, saying, he saved me, he saved my life, blah 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 blah. And they both keep their sneaking around a secret. And meanwhile, in a council, they are informed about 2 ships being brought down, and the queen and the minister says that maybe we are rushing things. We need to stop the expedition for a few days until we are really prepared. And Galadriel, again, she manipulates the queen, saying, no, we have to move on, because after all, we have the king's blessing. Yes, she's still exploiting the queen's weakness, that it is the sick and bedridden king. Seriously, Galadriel, go to hell. Meanwhile, Elrond has a conversation with Lord Celebrimbor, and Lord Celebrimbor tells him that he has to break his oath to Durin and disclose the location of the Mithril, because the Mithril actually does contain the light of the sacred tree, and they need it or all the elves will die. So no pressure. Meanwhile, Galadriel goes to apologize to Halbrand for using him, but Halbrand calls on her bullshit because she's not sorry, and he asks, why do you insist on fighting and going to work? And she sheds a couple of tears and says, because I can't stop fighting, because Sauron took my brother away from me, and I have to continue fighting, because of course everything is about her. Meanwhile, the old man and the other villagers arrive to Adar's camp, which is now one of their villages, because they are in the middle of the night, so the orcs can be out in the open. And Adar is not very happy of having them there, and he gives the old man a knife and holds Theo's friend on his knees and tells the old man, if you want to serve as you say, you have to kill him, because only blood can bind us together. Meanwhile, back at the watchtower, Theo shows the sword's hilt to Arondir, and Arondir recognizes it, and one sculpture on the watchtower, and it is apparently it is a weapon that was used to kill. I don't know if it's an elf or that it's a man, but the point is, it is a really, really bad weapon, really dark. And Bronwyn begins to to become desperate because Arondir tells her that the enemy knows that your son has the swords healed and they will come for him. And she says, we have to surrender. There's nothing we can do. This watchtower is going to fall. And then they both look at each other and they look up to the tower and it seems they have an idea. And I hope it is a very good idea because the orcs are marching towards the watchtower. Meanwhile, back at the elf city, there's a group of elves carrying the stone table back to Khazad-dûm, and between chuckles, Durin reveals to Elrond that story that he told Gil-galad about that stone being sacred was actually a lie, and that he wants to bring the table as a present for Disa. So Durin senses that Elrond has something to say and tells him just say it, and Elrond tells him you were right, my king had ulterior motives, they won the Mithril and they used me. And he tells Durin that the Mithril, we elves need the Mithril because it is the key to our survival. Something that actually makes Durin quite happy knowing that he holds the fate of all elves in his hands. So he agrees to bring Elrond back to Khazad-dûm to continue working on the Mithril. Meanwhile, back in Númenor, Halbrand decides to become the king that everyone wants him to be, and he dons an armor. By the way, a horrible armor. This is not a scale armor. I mean, look, it's molded for his specs. This obviously is not made of metal. This is not. This is a leather scale. Curious. I mean, this is ridiculous. Looks so bad. This is not how armor is supposed to look. But anyway, he marches on with all of the recruits. I mean, the expeditionary force alongside the Queen. And one of them is Isildur. He manages to get inside the expedition. And here we have her in all of her glory. Galadriel now wearing an armor, which again looks awful. Because it doesn't look like metal at all. Anyway, she's still not happy even though she got her way. She got her army and her war against the orcs. And by the way, that soldier is way too skinny to be a soldier. I mean, Isildur and his friends, at least we know they are really strong because we saw them during their training for the Sigurd, and one of Isildur's friends is quite a big bloke. He's really muscular. But this soldier, is that a girl? Is that a female soldier? Look at those skinny arms. How is she supposed to fight? So anyway, the expedition is ready to sail and they go towards Middle-earth. And that is the end of this episode. So, what can I say? Again, very little happens. I mean, what have we learned that we didn't know already? We learned that the stranger's magic is actually dangerous. We already knew that. We learned that Adar is evil. We already knew that. The story about the origin of Mithril was kind of interesting, but beyond that, no, not interested. We finally get to meet this character that was promoted during the promotional campaign of the series, but we know nothing about this character because this character only appeared and looked menacing and had this mean look on their face, and that's all. They didn't say a word, didn't do anything. We don't know who they are. What do they want with the stranger? And of course, Galadriel. Oh, Galadriel. Seriously. Now, besides being an aggressive witch, now Galadriel has stood to new lows by now gaslighting and taking advantage of other people's weaknesses and grievances and sorrows. Like seriously Galadriel, go F yourself. How could how could they turn the character of Galadriel into such a horrible person? And I mean horrible. Always so angry, so selfish, so self-centered, so self-righteous. It's horrible what they are doing to Tolkien's work. Seriously, Amazon, you should be ashamed of yourself. This is the Technomage signing off. Thank you for watching. I will see you on the next episode. Goodbye.